bringing out the celebrities, man.
Hey, Fred, I'm just having fun, man. Let me ask you this question real quick. Spit up here for a minute. How do I feel about Leo Abner and the rest of the bunch shamelessly ducking Regendow? I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I don't think they're ducking Regendow at all. Like I just think that they're bigger names for them to fight right now that are guys that are more in their prime. Regendow will get an opportunity, and Regendow still, I think he's like 38 years of age and stuff. He's a champion, but I don't think that they're ducking Regendow. Haney, all action, no chaser. Look, I like Devin Haney. I think that him and Gervonta, would be an unbelievable matchup. I think Devin is getting better and better, and I can't wait to see what the future has to hold for Devin Haney and stuff. So, I mean, I'm excited about the future for him.
And Jarvis, my main man, Jarvis, man, off of Western. Haney, all action, no chasing. We got one more beam in. We gonna say thank you, thank you, thank you. And we got one more from the
UK
UK.
channels and pick up the Charlos fake boxing country. We know why they don't support our success in boxing. They have no interest in real champ. I'm not going to say that they don't have success, that they don't have interest in real champs and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was offered because there are a couple UK fans, because I called the international pay-per-view for that, or I called the international telecast. It was offered on Fight TV over there. So I don't know if ITV had an exclusive over in the UK. I don't really know how the TV contracts work, but I do know that fans did stay up in the UK, but they had to order it on the Fight TV app. So maybe Fight TV had like a special, deal over there going on. So, I'm not going to hate on the UK, especially when I know that you were able to purchase it through Fight TV.
Yeah, and Jarvis double back once again. They talk Al Heyman like he Kaiser Sose in this motherfucker.
I mean, look, Al there's a method to Al's madness and stuff. He's been successful for, decades upon decades in entertainment and stuff. And he's brilliant at what he does and stuff. And he's definitely a trailblazer in, sports and entertainment.
Facts. I'll got our last beam in, and then we'll go with him. What we want.
Are you scared to death, Negroes?
Hey, what's up, man? How you feel?
I'm good, man. What's up, Ray? How you feeling?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy that you're here. We want to see the best fights in boxing. One of the biggest fights to make, of course, like Mr. Bill Haney just said, Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis, two of the biggest names in the sport. Yeah. And it's a fight that should happen, and it should happen, I believe, next. Mike Tyson talked about it with with Gervonta. Mike Tyson said, you need to fight Haney. It's a fight that everybody wants to see. They got a lot of history with each other coming up in the Mayweather gym. Devin Haney and Gervonta got a lot of history. It's a fight that everybody wants to see. And Gervonta, he shouldn't get any excuses to duck out this fight. Haney been calling him out for years. Gervonta, he's been making excuses, saying Devin is clout chasing. Devin is a champion in the same division. Gervonta was Devin's mandatory for the WBC. Mm-hmm. And he decided to go the WBA route to face Gamboa. That's cool, but it's a fight that we want to see in the future, and it should happen. Even Gary Russell versus Devin Haney was talked about. Gary Russell, he rejected the offer. He rejected what he asked for. I want to get your thoughts when you seen Gary Russell back out that fight with Devin Haney.
Listen, here's my thing. I don't know contracts, right? So I don't know the numbers. All I do is it's hearsay and stuff. So I don't know what Gary Russell has lined up, and I don't know why. I don't see the contract. So I can't speak on anything that I don't physically see or can confirm from an independent source. To your point, though, if Gervonta beats Leo, then if Gervonta wants that fight with Devin Haney and everybody agrees from a TV standpoint, then let's make it happen. But I think that more so, I think that it would have to be that Devin crosses over to Showtime once again, assuming, because he's got to deal with DAZN and stuff like that, to my knowledge. And again, I don't know TV contracts. To my knowledge, he has a contract with DAZN. And if Gervonta wants that fight and Devin's able to come over to Showtime and gets that one fight off, as I told Mr. Haney, Bill Haney, I'm like, I'm sure Showtime would welcome Devin Haney back with open arms. I'd be like, Devin, Welcome back. This is great. Him and Gervonta, it's a fight for the fans. Let's make it happen. Everyone has to think on the same page. But listen, I know Leonard Ellerbe and those guys, they believe in their guy. You know, Devin and his dad, they believe in themselves and their abilities. Best fighting the best. Let's make it happen. I think it would be Showtime pay-per-view, or it would be probably one of the biggest fights ever on Showtime Championship Boxing from a numbers standpoint. So I think it's a pay-per-view fight. I think it's a Showtime pay-per-view fight. And I think it's one that when fans come back, I mean, you can literally put it anywhere. I think you need to put it in Las Vegas because that's where it belongs, because it's like neutral territory, right? So, I mean, they had the gym wars, or they had, the issues at the Mayweather boxing gym and stuff like that. Well, hey, the Mayweather boxing gym's only 10 or 15 minutes away from the Grand Garden Arena. Can you imagine both young guys main eventing against each other at the Grand Garden Arena? I mean, what it means for the youth. I mean, set aside themselves, the legacy, but for the youth, for young fighters that are amateurs in the gyms watching two young guys that are barely 25 main eventing at the Grand Garden Arena, worldwide pay-per-view audience. That would be special. And I think it would be a throwback fight because I think both guys are supremely talented. I think both guys know each other so well. Both guys, it's like that competitive alpha male. I want to beat your ass because I want to prove I'm the best. I think it would be a hell of a fight. It'd be a hell of an event. And man, oh man, I'm telling you, the people would show out. And the ladies would come out too. So, I mean, that's just the cherry on top. So sign me up for that.
Well, I guess I can get a suite that weekend then.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, sir. I think this has an opportunity to be one of the biggest fights in the history of boxing. It can break records. Devin Haney, considered to be the next Floyd Mayweather, who trained with Floyd Mayweather Sr., who's trained with Roger Mayweather, rest in peace, and even Floyd Mayweather Jr. has been training him. Devin has sparred against Floyd. Floyd speaks highly of Devin. Devin, he wants to be better than Floyd Mayweather. And Gervonta, Floyd Mayweather's fighter, a champion, Gervonta, one of the biggest names in boxing. It has the makings of being one of the biggest fights in the history of boxing, and it's a fight that should happen. And the fans are demanding this fight. The fans are demanding it, and we want it. Haney versus Tank. Let's make it happen. Also, Gary Russell, you spoke on Gary Russell. I can assure you that Gary Russell, he wasn't on the PBC schedule. The 2020 PBC schedule was released. Gary Russell, his name was nowhere to be found. And Devin Haney has the leverage to go fight on PBC and Showtime. He can go fight on Fox. He can, a part of his deal, he can do that. He has the option to do that. Even with the Gary Russell negotiations, Mr. Bill Haney said Devin can go fight on PBC. Let's make it happen. So the same, we can do it with Tank, or Tank can come over the same way Andrew Weems did and fought Anthony Joshua, or the same way Sergey Derevyanchenko did and fought Triple G, or the same way, the same way that who else did it? Julio Cesar Chavez, a lot of fighters, man.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters, they work together, and we just want to, just like Gamboa. Gamboa's coming over to fight Devin on the DAZN. So let's make it happen. Gary was doing a lot of talking, but once Devin Haney got on the scene, he got real quiet, man. They calling him Mr. Cap. You know what that means? The man is lying. You know what I mean? The man is lying. Mr. Cap, but I appreciate you coming through. I'm going to tell you like this. Devin Haney is the new face of boxing. Devin Haney is the new face of the sport. And remember, I told you that. He got the work ethic, he has the skills, and he has the talent. And he's working out every day. He's in the gym. He's a hard worker. And even Floyd Mayweather said, Devin can break all of my records. He said, Devin, he wants to be better than me. Devin wants to break my records. So Floyd Mayweather speaks highly of Devin Haney. I appreciate you You was talking about those YouTubers, but you know Floyd is talking about fighting Logan Paul, one of those guys.
No, I mean, look, Floyd can do whatever he wants. Floyd's retired. I'm talking about YouTubers main eventing over Devin Haney. That should never ever happen.
Yeah, you know that was definitely an event. And when Devin was fighting on PBC, he was on Showbox. They didn't even have him on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Wait a minute. One thing I'm going to tell you, he never fought on PBC, to my knowledge. He fought on Showbox. Showbox is totally different than PBC.
Okay, yeah, so, he was on Showbox.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that he never fought from a PBC standpoint and stuff like that. So I thought he was going to make the transition. What happened. Like I said, I'm happy for Devin. I think he's a budding young superstar. And again, for Mike Tyson to be calling him out, Gervonta and Devin Haney. But again, I'm telling you guys, pump the brakes here. Everyone's talking Tank and Devin Haney. Tank has a hell of a fight in front of him, Leo Santa Cruz. So people need to relax, because Gervonta's got a whirlwind in front of him in less than a month's time, Fred. So people need to chill out. What if it's a close fight? And I mean, what if Gervonta wins, but it's a close fight and it's a great fight? Then you're going to get a number 2. And what if Leo wins the second one? So, I mean, look, Devin's got Gamboa, and that was a common opponent with Gervonta. So Devin has to handle business against Gamboa, because Gamboa is going to have a chip on his shoulder again. So, again, I don't believe that's, Devin can probably make it look easy, but you never know. This is boxing. I want to see the best fighting the best in 2021. I mean, you're seeing Gervonta and Leo fight, but look, Devin Haney has all the physical skills. He's got the look. He has the desire. People, praise him for a reason. And for Mike Tyson to tell Gervonta, hey, you need to fight Devin Haney. Well, look, I mean, it's one of those fights that is a legacy-defining fight for both, and hopefully it happens.
Yes, sir. And Gamboa is a tough fighter, like you said. Gamboa has been in there with the best. Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, and he performed at a high level. He's the only man to go 12 rounds with Tank with the injury. With one leg, he was able to go 12 rounds with Tank, and no man has ever even done that, not even Jose Pedraza. So Gamboa is a tough fighter, and he comes to fight, and I can't wait. But after Devin Haney, Gamboa, after Tank versus Leo, Tank versus Devin Haney is a hell of a fight. I think it's the biggest fight in the sport.
Yeah, but let's not put the horse before the carriage. Appreciate that. Thank you.
You froze, man. You froze.
Have a good night.